What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's on them. I want to talk about Tyreek Hill. The last time I spoke about Tyreek Hill, I was speaking about his divorce. His wife had divorced him after a very brief marriage. They was married for maybe a year before she decided now is the right time to divorce him. The funny thing about that is that he actually tried to divorce her first. I think maybe a month or so after they got married. I believe this was in late 2023. I guess he decided to stay with her, and then he denied it, even though it was reported. The report started to circulate. TMZ had it, but then his lawyers tried to walk it back. But once you do something like that, that marriage is doomed to fail. So not only is the marriage falling apart, he's having problems legally. He's had children outside the relationship. That never helps, right? And also, it seems like her mother didn't like him very much because she made, I believe, the call to the police insinuating that he was going to harm the child or her daughter. Only for the police to show up. Nobody is harmed. No police report is filed. Why did you call the police, right? That marriage was always doomed to fail. And now Tyreek Hill is fighting back. He has taken it upon himself to put out information about Keita and the fact that she was stealing from him. And this is according to him and his lawyers. They're claiming that she was stealing money from him and getting into the accounts, taking money and putting it in her business and to her mother. And we're going to get into that because that could play a part into why they were probably arguing and getting into it, is because of money and what she's doing. Now, again, this is the same Tyreek Hill who's dealing with other women while he's with Keita. This man was not trying to be monogamous whatsoever, but she chose to be with him. Now, also what his lawyers did, which I thought was very smart of them, because again, he has an NFL career to think about, and he's seen enough of his reputation dragged through the mud. And his lawyers preemptively put a gag order on her. Now, you don't see this in these divorces. You don't see too many times where these athletes or go on the offensive and they proactively put out information. Not only that, they put a gag order on her, and she is enraged by this. She's upset about this, and we're going to get into this article. But not only do I think she's upset about the gag order that they're trying to put on her, she's upset because they're putting it out there that she could possibly be a thief. And she's not only stealing money and putting it into her business, but she's also giving it to her mother. So I'm going to take a look at this article from the NY Post. It says Tyreek Hill and Keita Vaccaro are continuing to trade jabs through their divorce proceedings. Vaccaro has accused the Dolphins wideout of trying to silence and intimidate her, according to a filing by her lawyers that was obtained Tuesday by the Daily Mail, which was in response to Hill's motion requesting a gag order on their legal battle, originally filed by his attorneys on June 23rd. That's what really popped everything off. In terms of purpose, the husband's motion is a clear attempt to silence and intimidate wife's counsel and control the representation that she receives in this litigation. Vaccaro's legal team stated, accusing Hill of displaying a pattern of coercive control in the matter. The goose gander rule is instructive, and its application reveals the hypocrisy of husband's position, Vaccaro's lawyers said. He wants to silence the wife's lawyers while his own pleadings disparage and denigrate the wife. The remarks from Vaccaro's lawyers were in reference to Hill's June 23rd filing, in which his lawyers, Michael Gottlieb and Christy Bright asked Miami Judge Spencer Multack to prohibit Vaccaro from making degenerating, disparaging, and uncivil statements that may harm his reputation in future filings. Well, yeah, he wants to protect his career. He wants to protect his career. He doesn't want you not only dragging his name through the mud, he doesn't want you doing podcast interviews. We've seen countless times when these women go on these podcast interviews or they start up one themselves. Look at Tiger Woods, his ex, she tried to write a book and he had to shut that down. He doesn't want her on none of these reality shows. He don't want to see her on the Real Housewives of Miami. He don't want to see none of that. He don't want to see you putting his business out here. He wants to conduct this divorce on his terms. And at least he's taking the necessary route to do that. Because again, he's the one with the money and the influence, not her. This marriage was doomed to fail from the start. I think he always regretted getting married to her. I think he always regretted marrying her. And that's why he tried to secretly divorce her until they got out publicly and he then had to stay in the marriage. He didn't want to be married to her. But he tried and attempted to make it work when he really shouldn't have married her to begin with. You don't have to marry a woman because, listen, the problem that a lot of these athletes make, they try to reward a girl that they're dating for being a good girlfriend. Well, she needs to do more than that. He tried to reward her for being a good girlfriend. That's why he married her. He didn't need to marry her. He didn't need to. In her response, Vaccaro's attorneys, Evan Marks and Caroline West, said the 8-time Pro Bowler wants a special grant for a gag order because he is famous and doesn't want to look bad, of course. Why would he want to look bad? He's taking steps to saying, you're not going to embarrass me. Vaccaro also alleged Hill, with whom she shares an 8-month-old daughter, Capri, hasn't paid temporary spousal or child support, among other things. Well, is he ordered to pay those things? But again, you wanted to separate, right? You didn't want to be with him anymore. He didn't want to be with you anymore. I find it interesting how you have women who will leave, but then expect you to still take care of them. We don't know what's been going on behind the scenes. We've just seen certain things in public be put out here, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. She wanted to leave, and I don't think he was ordered to pay her any spousal support or child support. In the context of husband not providing exclusive use of the marital residence, not providing use of a vehicle, not providing temporary spousal or child support or attorney's fees, pendant life, not agreeing to any time sharing schedule if it is not 50-50 or other behaviors and demands of husband. The motion is another example of the husband's pattern of coercive control, and it must be denied because there is no legal basis for it. Her filing read. Well, it looks to me like he's making a case of she wants to leave, she can go, but she won't have access to the home. She won't have access to my money. And it's because he believes she was stealing from him. Let's continue. Since filing for divorce from Hill earlier this year, the split between Vaccaro and the Dolphins wideout has only gotten messier. Hill, currently entering his 4th season with the Dolphins, and off-season trade rumors accuse Vaccaro of stealing cash and fraudulently obtaining access to his financial accounts to make unauthorized transfers to herself, her business, and her 62-year-old mom, according to the Daily Mail. Listen, if I find out that you're taking money from me, why would I give you use of the marital home? Why would I get you a car? Why would I pay you temporary spousal support when you are allegedly stealing from me. And he wouldn't put that out there unless he had proof. That's very easy to disprove if he doesn't have any proof. But the fact that his lawyers is putting it out there, and not only are they saying that she's taking the money, she's putting it in her business and into her mom, which means that she had opportunities to make money on her own. That it wasn't a situation where he was, controlling the money. He told her she couldn't work or she couldn't have a business. Obviously, she had another business. She had her own business. So he wasn't that controlling. 3 days before he filed his motion to enjoin, he filed a pleading in which he alleged through counsel that the wife has a history of stealing. Said the wife has a history of stealing and related statements, leading to the publication of one article with the headline, NFL star Tyreek Hill accuses ex-Keita of stealing from him, Vaccaro's attorneys wrote. He is accusing her of stealing. Instead of asking this court to adjourn the husband's lawyers from making such statements, the wife is marshaling the evidence that she will present to prove they are false. Vaccaro filed for divorce in April, calling her marriage to Hill irretrievably broken. The filing took place a day after police responded to a domestic dispute at their Miami residence, during which Capri was present. Vaccaro's mother, Alicia, said she called 911 because she feared for her daughter's safety after seeing a very aggressive and impulsive Hill throw a laptop on the floor and walk toward the 35th floor balcony with her granddaughter, according to an incident report. You know what this filing tells me? It tells me that he had no interest in harming his daughter or his wife. The mother just picked up the phone and called the police because that's probably what, she always does in these situations, and nothing comes of it. Nobody was arrested. That's why he won't let her use the home. He wants her nowhere near him. And that's a good thing. Because if he's such a danger to your daughter, you shouldn't want her at his house. In a separate emergency filing, Vaccaro alleged that Hill disappeared in the aftermath of the dispute for 2 nights, only to return and take the couple's infant daughter without the mother's consent. The motion requests temporary exclusive use of the couple's home for Vaccaro, along with limiting Hill's access to Capri to supervise time sharing. See, I want y'all to understand something. This was a marriage that just was doomed. This is why you don't get married during your football career, Tyreek. What is with these guys so ready to get married so quickly? I don't even think they had been dating that long. They've been dating maybe 3 years maybe? Why are you so quick to want to get into a relationship and get married? Wait until after your playing career, because then you know how much money you have. You got to figure out what you're going to do with your life. That's usually when divorces happen. And Hill is now over the age. He's over the age of 30. He wants that next big NFL contract. He's trying to focus on that. She focusing on trying to get into the marital home, even though her mother claims or believes he's a danger to the child. But you want use of his home. You want him to financially take care of you. If he's such a danger, if he's so dangerous and so controlling, why do you need his money? If he's so dangerous and so controlling, why do you want his money? Why would you want to live with him or be in the home with him? Because again, she wants to share the home. So that means that both are going to be in there at the same time. So that doesn't fit the narrative that he needs supervised visits because he's a danger to your daughter or to you. Why do you even want to be in his house? Like, why? Because he's not going to move because that's his home. I just think that a lot of this stuff just unrealistic. And if she can prove that she never stole from him, I haven't seen her made any. I don't know when the next court appearance is, but it hasn't been disproven yet. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Blow me any thoughts. If you done share, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and I'll see you on this one.